A loved one's new has
You want to be on the end?
You're doing this. You don't need that seat.
Hi, how are you guys?
come she will. When streams are ripe and swell with may she will stay, resting in the mountains again. She'll change her tune in restless walk. She'll cry July. She will fly and give no warning to August, die she must. The autumn winds blow chilly and September I remember how a loved one's has grown.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Swannanoa Valley. Do you want me to start over? Okay. I am Heidi Blozan, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you to, I'm going to do it again, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Swannanoa Valley. Please silence your cell phones. We are a progressive congregation fueled with and connected by the spirit of justice, love, and goodness. Now, goodness, and these are Gracie's words. I don't think she's here today, but goodness is not the same thing as niceness. Niceness is a social strategy, a temporary decision, a covering that is sometimes hiding something sinister underneath. Goodness, rather, runs deep. Goodness is what I strive for, and she does too, and fall short of almost every day. It's good to see you. We have a tradition of welcoming visitors or people have been here a few times. I'll invite you to stand, say your name, and tell us where you're from. Let's start with this side. That's just fine. Let's go to this side. Okay. Did you stand if you wanted to say your name?
Hi, I'm Robin Times Miller. I'm Robert and Betty's youngest daughter, here to see my sister sing too in this beautiful music. But glad to be back.
Hi Heidi, I followed your suggestion.
Yay!
I'm Herb.
Welcome back.
I saw Herb at Painters 2 days ago. I said, how about you come? There he is. He had already been thinking about it. So, thanks for being here today and joining us. We'd love to get to know you better. And you came on a wonderful day. It's potluck day. Don't worry if you brought a dish or didn't bring a dish, just stay for the potluck. And there'll be folks from our membership committee identified with an orange name tag, and they'll be available to answer any questions. Really, anyone would probably answer your questions. Okay, while it's good to be good, goodness can also make people uncomfortable. Goodness is in this famous quote by Robert Jones Jr. We can disagree and still love each other unless our disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. In that goodness, I would like to read the land and labor acknowledgement together that's found on the back of your order of service. Land and labor acknowledgement. We acknowledge with respect that this land is the sacred ancestral home of the Cherokee and other Native peoples who survived and continue to make their home here. We deeply regret the genocide and broken treaties by which their land was stolen and from which we all benefit. We support the Cherokee as they seek redress for these injustices. We also acknowledge that this country was built on the stolen labor and denied ownership of land to enslaved Africans, whose descendants continue to experience oppression, economic injustice, and generational trauma. We bear a moral and spiritual responsibility to oppose and work to eliminate the ongoing harm of white supremacy and racism. Thank you. In addition to abiding by our land and labor acknowledgement, we can strive to uphold our 8 principles. We can try to be good, not just nice. I believe in goodness spreading out and blanketing all the places that even my love cannot reach. I'm happy to be together with you today, and now we start our service for good. I did. I asked it early. If you did not turn your cell phone off, here's another opportunity. smell the flowers too, which.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's going to be 80 degrees today. And get warmer as it's time to put away my winter clothes. These words are from the late Reverend Forrest Church. Each of us must assume the responsibility for our own awakening. Others may be responsible for our being born, but we and what we make of our lives and how deeply and intensely we choose to live is our responsibility and ours alone. Having accepted life as a gift for ourselves, we are then charged to revere the presence of this same gift in others. Please rise as you are willing and able and join in singing our opening hymn this morning, number 34, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire. Hymn number 34. Though I may speak with bravest fire, and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain, as sounding brass, and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so, my love confess, cannot begin, my love within, the prophet soon, to change within, our spirit calm, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. I wish we were should and are free. Please be seated. Our responsive reading is from the words of Norman Cousins, number 651 in the back of your gray hymnal. We will read this responsively. 661. I got it. I got it. It's a test. The heart knoweth. Well, they were both good, though.
It is 651. It is. If it's Norman Cousins.
No, but I've been corrected. And I even wrote it, believe it or not. Number 661 by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The heart knoweth. We have a great deal more kindness than is ever spoken.
The whole human family is made with an element of love, like fine ether.
How many persons we meet in houses whom we scarcely speak to, whom yet we honor, and who honor us?
How many we see in the street or sit with in church, whom though silently we warmly rejoice to be with.
Read the language of these wandering eye-beams.
The heart knoweth.
That was actually better.
Today is the second Sunday of April when we have special music, and today we have Allison Tynes Adams singing my own compositions. Allison is a classically trained soprano and has been singing my compositions for 21 years. She earned her Bachelor of Music at Guilford College and a Master of Music in Voice Performance at Peabody Conservatory. Allison spent many years performing and teaching in New York City and then Santa Cruz, California, before moving back home to Black Mountain. She now teaches music together and voice at the Black Mountain Center for the Arts and also here at the UUCSB, and is raising a son and a daughter. Lots of that family back there with her. Today we'll perform two songs for which I composed both the music and words. They're very local. They're about both Graybeard Mountain and also in the fields up around Grandfather Mountain too. You have the texts in your insert in your order of service. I wrote The Forest Rejoices right nearby on Graybeard Mountain on a beautiful June day. I want to add that on July 19th, 3 p.m., Allison and I, plus a cello, guitar, and dancer, will perform a full concert of my music right here at the UU. The concert will benefit the nonprofit Love Thy Neighbor, WNC, which provides assistance to our neighbors who are being threatened and terrorized by ICE. Hope you can join us here on that day.
Did you know that the forest is rejoicing in you? On this forest floor, this June, gay larks is blooming, tall white candles lighting the path. There you walk. With brilliant green mosses, each stone a small village of miniature trees, small hopes. For you the air is cold and sweet, and alert of the ferment of humors, the lush bed of new life lay before you. For you, the soft breeze on your tired skin cleanses you of worries, and overhead with the rainy blushing bride, mountain laurel in impossible numbers, bloom in your lover's Praises of reserve you offer here. In the cold recesses of our wild deep cataracts that pour out your welcome, the sun breaks through and rains, brilliant yellow, green. She pours out her joy, yes. She pours out her joy, yes. She crashes into the black rose. Just for the joy of being here. Just for the joy of you.
Before we begin joys and concerns, I just wanted to give you an update on our endowment fund, which is a joy, actually. We are now at $25,600. Yeah. We hit our initial target, which was 10K, and the next goal is 30K before the end of the fiscal year. So just want to give a deep and heartfelt thanks to those of you who have given, and a thank you in advance for those of you who will give either again or more. So again, that is a joy. And so this is the time in the service when we invite you to come up and share a joy, a concern, a sorrow. And so the elements are there, the fire, the water, the stones. And now we just need you. So please, the floor is yours. Do I need to bring this to anybody? This stone is for those of you who, for whatever reason, decided not to come up. Just know that we keep you in our hearts and minds and in our thoughts and prayers. I invite you to join in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Our lesson today will be on friendship, at least part of it will, and we'll complete it next week. But I want you to center yourselves, and we'll have our time of quiet as usual afterwards. This is it's called For Lost Friends, and it's from the book To Bless the Space Between Us by Brother John O'Donohue. For Lost Friends. As twilight makes a rainbow robe from the concealed colors of day, in order for time to stay alive within the dark weight of night, may we lose no one we love from the shelter of our hearts. When we love another heart and allow it to love us, we journey deep below time into that eternal weave where nothing truly unravels. May we have the grace to see, despite the hurt of rupture, the searing of anger, and the empty disappointment that whoever we have loved, such love can never quench. Though a door may have closed between us, may we be able to view our lost friends with eyes wise with calming grace. Forgive them the damage we were left to inherit. Free ourselves from the chains of forlorn resentment. Bring warmth again to where the heart has frozen, in order that beyond the walls of our cherished hurt and chosen distance, we may be able to celebrate the gifts that they brought. Learn and grow from the pain. Prosper into difference, wishing them the peace where spirit can summon beauty from a wounded place. And now, while our minds are one for this brief moment, I leave you with the eloquence of silence. And so it is. It's time for our coffee.
In her fiery robe she moves, it's summer in the Blue Ridge. She smiles, baby's tassel in her hair, on the top of the hills. Where she glides at dawn through lilies, roses, daisies, magenta of rhododendron. Where she glides, beauty blessing at her touch. Spring, summer, warmth of sun, beams of her blessing, beams of light. Breeze wind in her dark shade. Midsummer I come to be with her, to see these green hills, this great woman I am.
And thank you for your generosity. I haven't been telling you jokes bad enough that you would throw something at me, but I think I may have found one. Here it is. I just read a very long article on Japanese sword fighting. Let me summarize it. I know. You notice I tell them after the collection. Unbelievable. I'll have more. I just haven't had time. It's been so serious what's going on. I guess you need humor anyway. But we're going to talk about friendship. This is something you may appreciate and maybe thank the gods for. You know, usually when I speak, and I'm not the only clergy person who does it, but you know, you do a sermon and and in that sermon, you can get like 2 or 3 other sermons, you know what I mean? And I'm just bombarding you, and myself too, with these thoughts. So this is the first time that I remember here that I've done a sermon where there'd be a part 1 and part 2, but I may try it again because it focuses, you know what I mean? So, you know, if you didn't, I'm not cramming everything in, I can do the next part next week. Anyway, maybe TMI, but I just wanted to. So, friendship, the love of friendship, all relationships, all friendship has love in it. But I want to share with you just some quotes that I thought would interest you about people's ideas and thoughts about friendship. A friend is one of the nicest things you can have and one of the best things you can be. A single rose can be my garden, and a single friend can be my world. Obviously, this is from Thoreau. The most I can do for a friend is simply to be a friend, but I don't want to be so frivolous with it because there are people who do not know what it means to really be a friend, and because of their wounds or because of what they grew up with, they don't really know how, and so they wind up going through their lives being very lonely and not knowing why. Not knowing why, it'll be always the other person or the other people. From Shakespeare, but if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and all sorrows end. The most beautiful discovery true friends make is that they can grow separately without growing apart. A friend knows the song in my heart and sings it to me when my memory fails. True friendship comes when silence between 2 people is comfortable. You can always tell a real friend when you've made a fool of yourself. He doesn't feel you've done a permanent job. Friends are those rare people who ask you how you are, and then they truly wait for the answer. The best kind of friend is the one you could sit on the porch with, never saying a word, and walk away feeling that was the best conversation you'd ever had. A true friend is one who thinks you're a good egg, even if you are half cracked. Friends are kisses loaned to us by angels. I cherish the friend who tells me a harsh truth, wanting 10 times more to tell me a loving lie. Anyway, those are just some. I'll save some for next week. But there's some things for you to think about what is or what a friend is. And I thought about this talk because I cannot tell you, and I've been a victim of this. I think it's just about being human. You know, not really knowing what friendship is, being burned by friends, being or so-called friends. And those are lessons that we all learn the hard way, I think, but really trying to grasp what friendship is. This is a friendship blessing from John O'Donohue. He says, may you be blessed with good friends. May you learn to be a good friend to yourself. May you be able to journey to that place in your soul where there is great warmth and love and feeling and forgiveness. May this change you. May it transfigure that which is negative, distant, or cold in you. May you be brought into the real passion, kinship, and affinity of belonging. May you treasure your friends. May you be good to them, and may you be there for them. May they bring you all the blessings, challenges, truth, and light that you need for your journey. May you never be isolated. May you always be in the gentle nest of bringing with you Anam Cara. What strikes me is the word challenge, because it's almost like soulmates. Back in the day, and maybe now, there was a lot of talk about soulmates. And we tend to think that a soulmate is always someone who makes us feel good, who gets us. But sometimes your enemy can be your soulmate because they teach you your lessons. And so, and they make you uncomfortable. And he says your friend is someone who will challenge you, who will maybe make you uncomfortable, who will tell you the harsh truth instead of the loving lie. Anam Cara in the Celtic tradition is a beautiful understanding of love and friendship. One of the fascinating ideas here is the idea of what the Gaelics call soul love. The Gaelic term for this is Anam Cara. Anam is the Gaelic word for soul, and Cara is the word for friend. And so Anam Cara in the Celtic world means soul friend. In an essay entitled The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis, he writes, "The ancients' friendships seemed the happiest and most fully human loves. The crown of life and the school of virtue, the modern world in comparison ignores it." And then there's the Lebanese writer Khalil Gibran, "Your friend is your need answered." This may all sound like idealism and romanticism, and perhaps it is, but I'm not really so sure. And we've heard the phrase about people coming into our lives for a reason and for a season and et cetera, et cetera. And I have friends who have crossed over already, or maybe they've moved and, we've kind of parted ways, but they're my friends. And if I ever see them again in this life, we will come together just like nothing has ever happened. Life takes us on this journey, and some people walk the trail with us for a lifetime, and sometimes the trail diverges. So, but there is a kernel of truth in these sayings. And so with all of the busyness and the business in this postmodern world that we live in, fast-paced, technocratic world that we live in, cultivating and sustaining friendships can sometimes appear to be a lost art. We are so busy these days with work and family that we can sometimes place our professions and our busyness ahead of our friendships. Friendships are the crown of life, as I said, because all love has friendship in it. It's one of the most fully human of all loves because it's not based on hormones or blood ties. Sometimes your blood ties will stick it to you faster than, what's significant is because it's our choice. I choose to be your friend. You choose to be my friend. So free choice is key, and it's what makes us fully human. Friendships bring that out in us. And it's been said that one loyal friend is worth 1,000 relatives. The antidote for 50 enemies is one friend. They're like precious gems. In the book of Job, in the 28th chapter, Uh, as well as in the book of Proverbs, we're reminded that wisdom is more precious than rubies. Also, the book of Proverbs tells us that the blessing of a compatible partner, right, is worth more than precious gems. To have a partner that is truly a gift, and it's worth more than all the gems and the material wealth in the world. And so I don't believe that we stray too far afield this morning if I suggest to you that the blessing of a true friend is indeed a price above rubies. There's also a sense of power and empowerment in friendship because ideas are formed when two or more people come together. When people come together, there's a power in that. And so even the Rabbi Jesus tells his disciples that before he dies that, you are now my friends. I used to refer to you as servants, but now you are my friends. We've shared so much together. We've shared these experiences together. And so he was using the language of his day. But experiences are things that deepen our friendships. Now, this doesn't imply that all of the relationships are pleasant or that they will be pleasant, but that the shared experiences help us to grow spiritually and to bond together on a deeper and more profound level that was previously experienced and maybe would not have been experienced without that individual in our lives. Of course, friendship sometimes you have to sacrifice for your friends, right? And I want to be clear, love does not demand sacrifice. Of course, Course in Miracles and other genuine spiritual paths remind us of that. But sometimes you do need to sacrifice for a friend. One of the definitions of the quotes, and I'll share with you, says that my friend, when I say I'd like to get together, they don't have to look at their calendar. They just say, let's do it. They don't say, well, let me go see if I got the time here. And so hopefully you people are coming to mind as I'm speaking to you, of people that are your friends. The love of friendship, like any other love, requires work. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't taught that love takes work. I just felt, I fell in love, and this is wonderful. But after all that goes away, then comes the work of keeping the relationship. But nobody tells you that. And so it means we must at times extend ourselves. I love this definition. There are many definitions of love. Paul gives us what he thinks in Corinthians, and there are other teachings on it. But M. Scott Peck puts it this way. He says that when I extend myself for the spiritual growth of another human being, now I would add to that another sentient being, but I think I extend myself for not only your growth, but my growth. I love that definition because it means you have to come out of your comfort zone. You got to come out of your comfort zone. And so it requires listening, attention, patience, but most importantly, it requires time. Time. It requires hanging in there when things don't work out. You just don't take all your marbles and go home because you don't get your way. In short, it is a process, because all love is a process. When I was growing up, and you may be able to relate to this, folks thought that just because an individual was related to you by blood, that there was love there. That there was love there. We loved one another. Or perhaps, like I said, you fell in love and everything would simply work out because there was love there. But I believe friendship has stages and dynamics to it. And I'll share that with you. I have personally known people in my life, and there have been events in my life where people may not have known me more than 1, 2, 3 weeks and told me that they considered me a friend. I didn't know what to do with that. I always felt uncomfortable with that. It was very unsettling to me, mostly because I was too afraid to say, well, I don't feel like that with you. You know, it takes time for me to let people in. I know a zillion people, but they're not all my friends. And so it has served me well. And so I was afraid to respond to that comment and to reveal to them that I'm not feeling that and that I did not consider myself a friend. There was a possibility. I've also had to say to people, which has been difficult, I don't have time for more friends in my life. I barely see the ones I do have. That's very difficult. And sometimes there were other reasons behind it, that maybe they were too needy, or I felt they were too needy, or what have you. And so, you know, you get to negotiate that and navigate that. How many times have you met people that you befriended and they're like, they just crowd you and you can't wait till they go away. You go, well, why did I become friends with this individual? I mean, we've all been there. This is part of being in a human body on planet Earth. And so sometimes I would say what I just said to you because I thought my integrity was at stake. And sometimes I just said nothing. And I said, let's just see where this goes. Because by that time, I had realized that knowledge is knowing what to say and wisdom is knowing when to say it. Yet I came to realize that many individuals had not been taught or had yet to discover the work that goes into love and therefore friendship or even that feeling. Because everybody that wants to be friends with you, you don't have to be friends with, you see. And vice versa. This is always a two-way street because they're rare and it's precious. And you have to remember that. I once read an article, and this is what I wanted to get to before we go eat. I once read an article many years ago, probably in the 90s, but I always keep it in my file, by a man named Terry Garsky. He may have been a mental health professional. Yes, he was a therapist in Chicago. And he outlined, and this is important, so just try to remember it, jot it down. I think he outlined the process of building friendship in stages. The first stage is labeled just casual acquaintance. And there are people who don't know the difference. You know, I may speak to you a few times here. I may have a meal without you. We're acquaintances. I haven't gone there. But there are people who say, well, you're my friend now. So that's number one. That's the casual acquaintance. When acquaintances are put into situations where they must cooperate with one another, they become companions, right? Not friends, companions. That's the second stage. The second stage is referred to as companionship. In this stage, the activity done together is more important than the person, right? I like to play cards, so we get together and we play cards. You're not my friend. I'm not your friend, but we love playing cards together. The activity is more important than the person. The final stage, the third stage, is called friendship. The person is more important than the activity. I don't care what we do. Let's go watch the paint dry. Let's sit out there and count the cards. I just want to be with you. And you want to be with me. That's the beginning of cultivating the friendship. The person is more important than the activity. It saves you a lot of heartache because people will betray people, things happen. We'll talk more about that next week. And so I want to be with you regardless of the activity. For being with the individual or individuals enhances your experience of the activity. Now, granted, these things may not, it's like Kubler-Ross telling you what it's like to die without actually doing it herself, but giving you those stages of dying, and they don't come that easily. I may be in grief. I found out that, if I find out that my cancer is terminal, and so one day I'm in grief, maybe next week I'm in denial, I'm all over the place, and maybe I'm in acceptance until it really hits me. So I'm not saying this is a rigid rule, but you kind of get it. Friendship is when you are more important than whatever we're doing together. The message I want you to get is that friendships take time. Why? Because love takes time. Love takes time. Friendships take time, and this is a revelation to many people. Friendships and love are not magical in the sense that everyone knows how to do it. True friendship reveals itself in time, not only in the sense of time being spent together and getting to know one another, but also in the sense that it is through the ravages as well as the easier times in life that you really come to see who your friends are. That's when you know. It is during the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to, as Shakespeare reminds us, that we come to know who really is in our corner, who really is a friend. Or we have been a friend to others, and more importantly, if we have been a friend to ourselves. You can't be a friend to anyone else unless you're a friend to yourself. And so this morning, and we'll do this next week on maybe a little more deeper level, I want you to call to mind your friends. I see some of you smile. I'm smiling. Yeah. Blessings be upon them, and may angels fill their nights and bless their days. May joy and peace and harmony abide with them, and may you and I be a source and a resource for them in times of trial. And so we ask the Spirit of life to assist us in renewing and strengthening the covenant of our friendships. And you can do this even when they're dead. You see what I'm saying? Because they're still around, they're just not in the body. Because love never dies. You believe that? But if you don't, shame on you. We surrender our friendships and all relationships to you, that they may serve a holy purpose for the highest good of all concerned. May we all live a life that lives up to this prayer, and may these words be the seed from which all of our actions grow. And so it is. And so when all is said and done, in these exciting, troubling times, a true friend is a gift. A true friend is a price above rubies. A true friend is one of the nicest things you can have, and one of the best things that you can be. So thank the goddess, thank goodness, thank God for our friends. So friends, please join in singing our closing hymn this morning, hymn number 6, Just As Long As I Have Breath.
as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Okay. We had a guest artist. Let's show it some love. Food out there. I got my plate. I hope you get yours. And now may love hallow every home and every heart. May the light of truth shine bright among us and bless you with wisdom and strength and love and peace. Have a wonderful afternoon.